This is the Dental Up Podcast, your daily source for insights from dentists and leaders in the industry. Brought to you by Keating Dental Lab, a full-service, award-winning dental lab that is here to add value to your dental practice. With high-quality restorations, friendly, reliable service, the best products and prices, come experience the Keating difference. Visit KeatingDentalLab.com for details.
Good afternoon, Dental Up podcast crew. Today we have Alex Castanedo, our removable technical advisor, as well as our manager of our customer service team. Alex, good afternoon and welcome to the Dental Up podcast.
Hey, good afternoon, Bob.
How's everything going up there today?
Today's a little busy with the skeletal crew that we got after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope you and your family had a great one.
It's a good one, man. We're all above ground.
Yep, above ground. And I mean, in Southern California yesterday, it was a brilliant day. It was 75 where we were.
Yeah, 75 here in Seal Beach we were at, so it was pretty
Oh,
good.
fantastic. That's awesome. I was actually born in Seal Beach.
Where are you?
Yeah, 1970.
I got 2 years on you.
Why don't we start at the beginning? How long have you been with Keating Dental Lab and how long have you known Sean?
First one, Sean. I've known Sean since 1994, back when we were at a different laboratory. But here at Keating, I've been here for 5 years.
Man,
Started
time flies. It seems just like yesterday you started with us.
in
5
does.
years. Wow. 5 years. And okay, so you know Sean since 1994. That's a long time too.
I think I've known you since the late 90s, too.
Exactly. And now we're all reunited again. One big happy family.
Team.
Yeah, we do have a good team here, and I'm excited. You fill a vital role for us here upstairs, and it's something that is so challenging. But before we get into your new functions, why don't you tell us what you do here on a daily basis, what your capacity and job duties are?
Yeah, I get in pretty early in the morning for all my East Coast friends, and I prepare that removal department to get started for the day. Just a simple scheduling issues that need to happen before everyone gets in, prepare cases that need to go out for the day, get them organized, kind of a lot of clerical work, a lot of scheduling work, a lot of grunt work, but it needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, the technicians need to know which cases they need to get out each day. They need to be able to prioritize their work, and that's our function as managers to make their job easy. Sean's always called it tucking them into bed. I know you come in at 4 a.m. and you've got that whole department prepared before the technicians arrive, and I thank you for that. It's an amazing job. Down here on the first floor, we've got 3 people that really do the job, and you're the only one up there doing it.
And I make the copies.
Cool. So that starts your day off and making
Yeah.
sure all the cases are scheduled correctly and prioritized. What's the rest of your day like? On an average day, how many cases do you consult on?
I would say anywhere from 20 to 25 a day, and they can range from fixed work to removable work to just overall customer service fees and just you name it, it comes my way.
Oh, yeah.
Do you toss it up? I'll hit it out the park.
Yeah, you've been doing this a long time. You're very skilled, great on the phones. I know our customers love talking to you, and it's not just for the information you get, but you're always just so nice and personable. And that's what we're all about. Why don't you tell the Dental Up podcast listeners about the way we take care of customers here in our Nordstrom style of service?
Yeah. I always tell my doctor friends, look, I'm pretty upfront and honest with these doctors and let them know exactly what they'll be getting and what will happen once they get it. And what I tell them is, I always look at every case that fits my mom or my dad's case. What I want that in my mom's mouth. I want that in my dad's mouth. And that's how I treat every case here at Keating. A Keating care type thing that I adopted and try to implement here at Keating. And you're right. It's like a Nordstrom's. You want to be serviced. You want to be serviced well and accurate and with a friendly voice and so on and so forth.
That's beautiful. And that's how we like to treat every case. We want to
Absolutely.
make it personal. We want to make it perfect. We're not one of those huge labs that, okay, when we're done working on it, we just ship it out. It goes through a QC process. And oftentimes the cases go back to a technician 2 or 3 times for
Sure.
revisions until it's perfect. And I know that's your process upstairs as well. We don't want to ship out anything that's of inferior quality to any patient.
Yeah, and that's what I look at when I'm looking at these cases before they got to. Now, do I miss things? Yes, of course I do.
We're all human.
And the beauty of it all is when you're honest with these doctors and you tell them, look, I missed it. Let me take care of you. I think our Keating clientele and customers they're top notch, they're forgiving, they're very understanding. They get it. I think that comes from, what Sean's always preaching, treat them right, treat them like it's Nordstrom's and take care of these people and shows. You feel it coming from a big monster lab, coming from a small lab. I did that for a little while too before coming to Keating. This is the right fit for, I think, most of our doctors. Is they don't get the big, huge monster lab. They don't get a tiny small lab, but they get the hometown feel when they get that small personality. They're handled, they're called by first name.
Oh, absolutely. You make such a great point there. All of our customers, all of our clients are a name to us. They're not some
Yes,
10-digit account number that they have to memorize when they call in. It's always, I'm Dr. Smith, I'm Dr. Jones, I'm Dr. Wu,
sure.
and it's, you know what? Hey, we know your name, and that's so important.
And they know our names.
Definitely. Yes, they do. So let's get back down to some nuts and bolts of cases. What are some of the more routine or most routine issues that when you're doing case evaluation that you discover?
Some of the basic things, really, Bob. And this comes back to the human element. People will forget the date or the shade and those types of things. They're not too complicated when they come to issues like that. Now, there are some where you use implants and combination style cases, attachments and whatnot. But the basics, the shades, the dates, and we take care of them and we communicate with customers that way. I think that's the one issue is probably dates and shades. Nothing too overly complicated. Um, we also have other team members that can handle those complicated cases. I think Jim's removable yourself. I've heard you take on some very huge cases, but nothing too complicated, just shades, dates, and all those types of little tiny things.
Yeah, like maybe choosing a material or prosthetic design. Those
Exactly.
are, yeah.
Exactly. And that's where I think customer service handles or technical advisors handle a lot of issues too. Hey, did you want Brux or Brux aesthetic? Did you want a Valplast partial, metal and Valplast partial? We get to the specifics of what they really want.
Let's get down to something that's sometimes an issue downstairs here on the first floor, but it's bites and occlusion. Do you have any good tips for our doctors to really nail this step down in the removable world?
A lot of times, and it's going to sound really silly, I try to keep it as simple as possible. A lot of times, sitting a patient up at a 90-degree angle or even standing up taking a bite. Because when you lean back and you're taking the patient's bite while they're laying down, that mandible tends to slide down on the back. And that's where you get open bites, you get patient trying to push their jaw forward to get it into a more natural position. 90
That's a
degree angle, 90
that's a
degree angle to stand up. Yeah.
That's a great point because that's how we masticate. That's how we chew when we're sitting at a 90-degree angle. When we're reclined, technically that's when we're sleeping. That's not how we function. That's not how the jaw functions. And sitting the patient up at a 90-degree angle is a key. And I tell a lot of docs in the crown and bridge realm, do the same thing. You got to sit them up for the bite registration step.
Is that what you come across sometimes too?
For crown and bridge, the patients are trying to overclose. They're trying to close a little too forcefully and they're sliding their lower jaw forward. But yeah, if they are reclined, the mandible is going to drift back, especially if they don't have teeth to prevent it from drifting back too far. Yeah, I can definitely see how that's the case in the removable world.
Yeah. And then removable, sometimes you're dealing with a lot of edentulous patients, partially or fully edentulous. And that gets tricky. That's where bite blocks come into place. And they're pretty important. The bite's pretty darn important. Taking that bite or bite block is crucial, the crucial first step.
Yeah, it's a step that we can't really guess on. If we're guessing or if we're just setting the teeth where we think they need to be, oftentimes we miss because we're guessing on function. But the bite block and the teeth and wax trying are so important. Let's jump to the teeth and wax stage. How does a doctor best communicate any changes that are necessary at the teeth and wax try-in before the final processing?
A lot of times photos help. I get a lot of photos from doctors that will take a blue mousse or Ramatep style bite in between their denture try-in and it's posing. Again, at 90-degree angles, so we can see exactly what the technician might have missed when setting up those teeth and wax. Photos are a good help. On the RXs or just communicating over the phone. Hey, Alex, this has to come forward. The patient may be a little picky. You need to rotate a tooth here or there. So photos and just overall communication over the phone works really well. I'll jump to the phone. I've given my cell phone to doctors to communicate possible. I'll be there for you guys.
Do you like the dentist to reset the teeth themselves into a better position?
If they can, a lot of times when they do, I think they're maybe over analyzing it. And I let the patient bite comfortably into a blue moose bite or a Ramatec bite to give us a visual of what the technician wants. And in turn, I can always send a photo back, doctor, and it's just the way you want it. And they go, nailed it, finish it, Alex. And it's usually a home run.
One of the things I'm pretty excited about is the new workflow we have upstairs. And if you could tell the Dental Up podcast listeners about what we're doing and what's new and where we're headed
Sure.
with our removable team.
The removable team, Bob, when you first brought me on, I think we were logging a few cases we were done pretty quickly.
Hmm.
Now we're logging in cases and it takes hours now, which is great because that means there's a lot more cases and a lot more faith in Keating removable team to send their cases our way. Um, it just it's blown up in the last 5 years I've seen.
It has.
Just run out of rooms. It's a good thing to have. It's a good problem to have.
We had to steal some space from the room next door, which was essentially our conference room where we used to have live doctor programs at night and on the weekends. And yeah, we needed the space for production.
Yeah, Sean got us a printer. We got at least 3 new technicians. It's just crazy up here.
If any technicians are listening, we're definitely hiring.
We definitely are hiring. But Jim's got a good grasp on it. I help Jim out as much as possible. He's the head chief over there, but I'm helping him out as much as I can.
Yeah. And the CAD CAM workflows really
Awesome.
improve the efficiency, I think. Not just the efficiency, but the final product. If you could briefly walk us through some of the differences between a hand processed denture and a digital denture produced through the carbon.
Yeah, what I get a lot from our doctors is the digital dentures, the try-ins are near perfect fit every single time. Are there adjustments? Yeah, you'll get a few adjustments here and there on occlusion and whatnot. But I've talked to doctors and calmed them down, and they've really bought into doing digital dentures. Because of that, it's just a bite block of try-in and it's done. But the fit is amazing. It's simply amazing. And with these digital denture try-ins you get, you can draw on them with a Sharpie, like a whiteboard. You can use your regular acrylic burrs to adjust occlusion if need be. But honestly, Bob, they have been really good. I don't have any problems with them. As doctors, once they get over the fear of doing a digital denture, they love them.
It's new, it's a paradigm shift and it's a new way of processing. And the customers, the dentists, they hear digital dentures like, oh no, let's just do it the old school way. And that's okay. But I agree with the feedback. Once they've inserted one, once they've delivered one digital denture, there's no going back.
Yeah. And like I said, I honestly cannot remember trying ever not fitting.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I cannot remember. Do we have occlusion issues every now and then? Yeah. Every now and then we will, but that's easily corrected in the computer. We just send back them to try-in if they want it or go straight to finish. It's up to the doctor. And usually 9 times out of 10, it's a home run.
Just to be clear, a dentist doesn't need to send us a digital impression in order for us to fabricate a digital denture. We can fabricate a digital denture in the traditional manner from models or physical impressions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whether it be an alginate that gets poured up right away or a polyvinyl. Now, and you bring up a good point. Something I was taught many years ago, removable doesn't need to have a wash impression. I get that a lot, and it doesn't hurt or harm anything. What I've noticed in my years is usually a light body or a medium body polyvinyl siloxane monophase material. Man, it's perfect. Some doctors will use putty and they'll compress the tissues, or heavy body, and it really squeezes the tissues, especially when dealing with a denture type. Monophase, light body or monophase, medium body works just fine. The light body can be loopy,
Yeah.
take forever to set up, but for the most part, it flows onto those tissues really well.
Yeah. And especially if you're not using a custom tray, the medium body, the medium viscosity is really the way to go. You don't need two different materials to polymerize together. Just
Yeah.
keep it simple.
That's what I say.
One medium body monophase is perfect for removable prosthetics.
Right.
So here we go with a little bit of a personal question. And I know you're super familiar with all the products and the techs and what they're doing, but give us one appliance or prosthetic that in your opinion you feel is underprescribed.
I'll give you two, and they're both
Okay.
in removal department. We need to do a lot more sports mouth guards for you guys and EMAs for your patients. We did the EMA sleep appliance, a snore appliance, and we have a gentleman here who's been doing them 25 years like that. He's always asking me, why don't we do more EMAs? I said, don't know. I'm here on the podcast to tell you doctors, hey, we need to get some EMAs for you. give us a shot. I think your patients will sleep a lot better.
Oh, definitely. That's one of the areas. That's my goal for calendar year 2023 is to revamp our sleep dentistry division and come out with more products. I love the concept of the EMA, and the simplicity and the comfort is
Sure.
beautiful. But yeah, we need to promote that more. You're 100% right on that. And we need to come up with some other types of sleep apnea appliances. We do a couple. We do one downstairs through this company. They're actually based out of Montreal, Canada, called Panthera.
I remember you telling me about.
And yeah, it's called the Digital Sleep Apnea Device, the DSAD. And yeah, it's really nice. It's very expensive, but it's really nice.
It does a job. That's for
Yep.
sure.
Definitely. I appreciate that. That's very cool. Now let's transition into your new role. And you've got a great team up there, and it's a new team. It's again, we're hiring, and we're hiring people
It's
from all different walks of life here. But
sure.
you've got a great team. Why don't you tell everybody what you're doing in the customer service realm?
Yeah, I think Sean entrusted me with this group of people here that now I'm the manager for customer service. I think that's right.
You are.
So in July, I took over this team to see what I can get out of them and get more nurse from service out to them, more heating care type system for the doctors. Um, we have a great team. I adopted a great team. A couple of people have been here for 10 plus years. And it's been a tough one because these people that are in customer service, they are the front lines
They are.
of catching the calls and the questions that come to me or any of the other managers here at Keating. They do a ton of work you never realized, from pickups to supplies to problem solving courier service issues. They do a ton, and they are our front lines of customer service. They do so much and get very little recognition. So this team, um, I think they're awesome. They're really awesome. And they were here before I got in here. So hats off to Sean and yourself for assembling this team.
They're the voice. They're the first voice. A lot of people when they call in here, and we've never had one of those phone menus for press 1 for customer service, press 2 for technical, press 3 to pay your bill. We've never been that type of company. We've always wanted to have a live human being answer the phone and provide live in-person service. And it's so important because there's so many other companies out there that have taken what I call the easy way outs, and they're not hiring enough people, and they don't have live humans taking care. But I really feel that our clients and our customer base is that's what sets us apart. And it's something we need to embrace, particularly as the offshore model gains in popularity. There are people picking up the phones on the other side of the world. Oh, Mrs. Jones, we need to spot tooth number 14. Oh, it's only going to be a quarter of a millimeter off the palatal cusp. That's what we do. That's Keating. That's what we do. We're live humans here. And I love it that you've got a great team and a very devoted team. And here we are the day after Thanksgiving. And you had 5 of them in today.
Yeah.
That's,
It's,
that's beautiful.
yeah, no, I, I'll be honest with you, Bob. I was a little nervous when I first came here because these guys are having all their eyeballs on me looking for answers. And they've been really patient with me and showing me things, how to keep, I could talk dental all day long, but some of these customer service skills, oh man, it's a tough gig.
It is, and like you said, it's underappreciated, but I know our customers, I know our clients appreciate,
Yeah.
being able to speak to a live human being, and again, that's something that we're never gonna change. That's our core. We wanna take care of the customers. We don't want to have somebody be on hold for 5 minutes when another human picks up the phone. That's not good for anybody.
And like you said, we're hiring.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for your time today. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Is there anything that I missed? Is there anything you wanna add before we sign off?
No, man, you've been good. You've been good to me. I remember the first phone call you said, "Hey, can you come in this day?" And I said, "Yeah." I left a little tiny lab and probably joined the best lab ever. I would say that even when I wasn't employed here, but it really is. I've worked for a monster lab. I've worked for a small lab. This lab is just right.
Absolutely, and you're a huge part of that, and we couldn't do it without you. You're
Yeah.
actually fulfilling 2 roles for us and only earning 1 paycheck, but the appreciation all of us have for you is immense.
Sean takes care of me. I love Sean.
Yeah, absolutely, we all do, and we're all part of the Keating family. Thank you again for everything that you do, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll just get back to work here today.
Sounds good.
Thank you for listening to the Dental Up podcast, your daily source for insights from dentists and leaders in the industry. This episode is sponsored by Keating Dental Lab, here to add value to your dental practice. With high-quality restorations, friendly, reliable service, the best products, and prices, come experience the Keating difference. Visit KeatingDentalLab.com for details.